Welcome to the Two-Ton Nerds. As always, my name is Max James, and in this episode of the TTN Presents, it is day 6 of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project, year 5, and the movie of the day is Holidays. It's a horror anthology film. It's comprised of a bunch of different directors and a bunch of different segments that cover over the big holidays of the year. So I kind of have a little cheat sheet here because there's a lot of information to be covered for this. So just kind of bear with me if I'm looking off screen. The movie is comprised of a bunch of short little segments covering each of the holidays. Oh, by the way, I'm going to tell you what you need to know about this movie. And each segment is directed by a different director, and it's very twisted take on the holiday, which is very cool. Some are okay, some are just downright what, and some are really, really good. So, but that's why I have this little piece of paper, this pad of paper, because I had to go through and write down all the segments and who did what, and kind of pick out some of the more notable directors and stuff like that, just to kind of give you an idea of like what to expect on some of these. So the segments are Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Halloween, Christmas, and New Year's. Those are the holiday segments for the movie, and each one is pretty decent. Valentine's Day is probably one of the better ones of the whole group. It's about this girl who's overly obsessed with her coach, and she takes Valentine's Day, takes the hearts and candy a little too serious, or too literally, and kind of delivers. Yeah, there's no spoilers, but I have to kind of give you an idea of what to expect, but there is no spoilers. St. Patrick's Day, this is one of the more stylistic ones, because St. Patrick's Day is, where the snakes have been driven out of Ireland, so it has to do something with a snake, and this teacher becomes pregnant with a snake, and it's like, oh, okay, but it's just like, oh my god, it's messed up. That one was directed by Gary Shore. If you've ever seen Dracula Untold, that's the movie he directed. The next up is Easter. It's directed by Nicholas McCarthy. You may know him from At Devil's Door, the movie he made. Easter was pretty messed up. It kind of takes up why we have eggs at Easter. That's basically all I'm going to say about Easter. It's messed up. It's actually it's more funny to me and messed up, but it's still worth checking out because it's messed up. It really is. If you're a very religious person, you will not like this segment whatsoever. I will tell you that. Mother's Day, this is the one I didn't like because I just didn't like it. It didn't really have much dialogue. It didn't really have exposition, so I should say. So it didn't really give you, it didn't really hold your hand, and it was kind of like, what the heck? So to me, it didn't. It just kind of felt like it was just jumping all over the place. But it looked good, and the final part of the segment had a nice little jump scare, or kind of like a nice, like, solid ending. So it had a moment, but it's probably the weakest one to me. Next up is Father's Day by Anthony Scott Byrne. He directed The Last Exorcist 2, The Last Exorcism 2, sorry. This one was actually pretty good. This one actually had a nice stylistic take on Father's Day, because it's about this girl who has a tape recording of her father's voice, and he's kind of giving her directions in this abandoned town, and she's kind of walking through and all this stuff, and it's really cool. I really enjoyed Father's Day story because it's really different. I think the ending is kind of like what, but it's still really, really good. It's just like really good. Next up is Halloween, my personal favorite one. It is directed by Kevin Smith. It's about a bunch of girls who get on webcam and kind of take off their clothes and all that good stuff, and it's Halloween, of course. So they and their little person who manages them kind of is just a wank. You know, so they kind of fight back and they do something so horrible. It's funny and horrible because if it's funny too if you're a girl, but it's terrible if you're a guy. But it's like, oh my god, it's still really funny because it has Harley Quinn Smith, who is Kevin Smith's daughter, and I can't remember the other two actresses in the story, but they're really great and. It's really scary. It's a horror comedy. That's definitely what that one is. But it's messed up. It's funny. So, Christmas. Scott Stewart. He directed Legion. Legion was that one movie with the fallen angel, and they're like kind of like holding off the demons in that little truck stop area, which had Dennis Quaid and a bunch of others. So it was actually, I liked that movie quite a bit. So, Christmas has Seth Green in it. It's about the new hit item of the Christmas year, which is VR, virtual reality, and he goes out late one night on Christmas Eve to get it, and as soon as he gets there, the store closes, and the guy he passes as the door closes has one, so he kind of murders him, and he's kind of haunted by the visions of the person that he killed through the VR set. It's pretty cool. I really liked it. I thought this one was really good as well. And New Year's Eve, to close out the story, to close out the movie, was actually a very fitting story to end because I thought this one was very funny more than anything, but it did have a nice little twist. I'm not going to go too into depth, but it's these two people on a blind date who have very similar qualities, but neither of them knew. And so when the time comes of them to reveal their selves, it has a very funny clash between the two, and it's really great. So overall, I thought Holidays was a very good horror anthology film directed by several different directors. I thought they are really great overall. I thought Mother's Day was definitely the weakest. St. Patrick's Day was definitely kind of like the weird one, but Easter was definitely the messed up one. So, but they all have their very redeeming qualities. They are all really good in some way, but the thing is, they are all well produced, well shot. They're well edited. They are all high quality short films within this little thing, and that's what my highest praise I can give this is that it looks really great. I mean, they do put a lot of work into each of these, so I do have to say that. So I'm gonna have to rate this movie. I have a grading scale of 1 through 5. 1 being run-of-the-mill horror, 2 best watched with the group, 3 more than average horror but adds nothing new to the horror genre, 4 helps move the horror genre forward, and 5 being a horror classic. And Holidays is definitely a 2. It is definitely watched best with the group. It really is. It's hands down because it has a little bit of for everyone. You should just get a bunch of friends, put this movie on, and just have a great time watching this. And that's exactly what this movie is. It's one of those few horror movies where if you have a bunch of friends who are very similar in your tastes, will have a great time watching this because you can make jokes, you can actually like them, and it's really good. So as always, that's really all I gotta say. As always, my name is Max James, and I'm going to go geek out.